All right, let's talk about this, man. Let's talk about this. Come on in. Come on in. What's up, y'all? So, the aftermath of this whole scenario. Joey Badass. Hey, Jay Lissa, what's up? Joey Badass versus the West Coast Avengers. Let's talk about this. So, whether you like Joey Badass or not, whether you feel he wasn't as lyrical as Daylight was, the reality of the situation is Joey won. Everybody who stepped up, he's beat them. He's beat everybody. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He beat everybody. He beat everybody. That's just the reality of the situation. So, couple mistakes. Couple mistakes that happened. Let's go through the mistakes. The first mistake was Ray Vaughn putting out a dance record as a diss record. That was the first mistake. That was the first mistake. We were effectively in game time. You know what I'm saying? We were effectively in game time. That was the very first mistake. He messed up right there. Reason I thought did well, but I also think Reason he was shooting more at other New York MCs to step in. But he went off. He got mad about saying he got dropped. So I don't really consider that. Next thing that happened was Daylight. So now Daylight, he had a really bad beat, and it felt like another warning shot. When instead it should have just been, you meet Joey at his level with a fire beat, and you just kind of rhyme. And that's it. It was definitely a battle of strategy and moments. That's literally what it was. Joey had moments. He had the Red Bull Cypher. He had star power around him in that Red Bull Cypher. And he dissed Daylight with Absol next to him. So it brung a different level of gravitas to the situation. When he dissed Daylight again, he had Loaded Lux on the record. It wasn't really more so like a jump. It was more so like, handle this. You were supposed to battle him 6 years ago, and you've been chasing him for 12 years. So it kind of threw a monkey wrench in the whole situation, which really angered Daylight. So that made Daylight mad. Now, here's the issue with that. The moment Daylight responded to Loaded Lux and Joey, it was over. It was a beautiful chess move, because if I'm Joey and you got to respond to this, because you a battle rapper, you're going to respond to him. So now when you respond to Lux, I don't really got nothing else to say to you. You got to handle that Lux problem. And that's exactly what happened. He was so emotional that Lux jumped on the record that he felt the pressure. Like the moment was so heavy. Even though Ayo is lyrically incredible. Ayo is lyrically incredible. By the way, just so we all are understanding, we got Sticky Fingers coming to Pendulum Ink next week. Just so y'all know, Sticky Fingers will be at Pendulum Ink next week. He was so angry that he put something together and he just put it out. Now, trust me, it was fire. It was fire, but it was lyrically fire. Yes, Loaded Lux was an escape plan. It was a beautiful escape plan. But Daylight thought that, yo, I'ma just out rap everybody and that's gonna absolve me. And in some cases it kind of did, but he was still, even with AO dropping, he was still down. Lyrically, sure, he's better than Joey Badass. We already know that, but the music wasn't matching the quality. When you do diss records, unless you are dissing somebody at your same level and y'all are both lyrically there and y'all both lyrically take, that's the only time it matters. It's the only time it matters. So when Lupe disses Royce and Lupe goes for the jugular, he's being disrespectful, even though Royce was lyrically superior, people gravitated more towards Lupe's record. You know what I'm saying? It gravitated towards Lupe's record. That's what the people gravitated towards. It was effectively no longer about who's lyrically, it was never about who's lyrically nice. It was about, look, you called me out, I'm going to disrespect you. I'm going to pack you up. Like, you was doing this nasty stuff, you know what I'm saying, on Vlad. Now, the angle that Ray Vaughn took, was, to me, was a bad angle. It was actually, you know what? I'm lying. It was a good angle, but he oversold it. He kept talking about homosexuality. Like it was obsessive homosexual bars. I don't agree with that. It's like, how much do we have to hear this? Now, it's disrespectful, but it was too much. It was too much. And to me, that's what cost him. Now, I like Ray Vaughn. I know a lot of people say that people don't like Ray Vaughn. I think Ray Vaughn is all right. You know what I'm saying? I just think that it was too many gay bars. It was like, yo, what's up with all of these gay bars? Where's the proof of him doing these things with Diddy? He's not subpoenaed. None of this stuff is real. You know what I'm saying? So it was just weird. And now battle rappers are jumping in. So now you got Danny Myers and Jag and Saint LA jumping in, dissing Joey Badass. Let that sink in for a second. These guys are jumping in. You know what I'm saying? And to me, if you got to jump in, that's bringing more attention to what Joey already did. Joey ThanASS. Joey ThanASS is cooking the West Coast Avengers. Right? So let's think about this for a second, right? You got 3 battle rappers that jumped into this Joey. You got Reason that went at Joey in the East Coast. You got Daylight. You got Ray Vaughn. You got AZ Chike. That's 7 people. Now, Kai Cash responded. CJ Fly responded. Joey responded. And then Lux. Lux, had a 16 to 24 bar verse. That's 4 people. But really, it was Joey. Joey was handling it on his own. Joey ThanASS. He was handling it on his own. Right? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if ThanASS, I don't even know if that deserves an AO or pause. Joey ThanASS, that doesn't even sound like it. But right now, so now let's talk about the 2 records that Daylight put out. So Daylight puts out a bop. That's probably one of the worst records I've ever heard in my life. That's my bro, but that record was terrible. So terrible that he deleted it. That record was bad. It was a bad record. That's with a hat. I might do a series called Burberry or Hat. I might do a series like that. If you want to get your stuff rated, if I like it, I'll be spraying cologne. If I don't like it, I'll start putting different hats on. I might do a series like that. We'll see. But that first record was not good that he put out. It was terrible. It was really, really bad. It was so bad, like people in the West Coast was like, what is happening? Why are you doing this? And then the second record was like a tribute to Steez, and it's like this to me is like this is self-sabotage. This is self-sabotage. You're sabotaging the battle because you're losing. You're losing, so you have to save face. That's why in that reaction I was like Joey won, and then he sniffled at the end. He was like that. That I had to I had to put a different hat on because it's like, why are you sniffling, bro? You're not doing that. Apparently he put out another record yesterday. I am not listening to that shit. This shit is done. Unless a top tier heavyweight lyricist comes out, I am done reacting to this stuff. Because you're not gonna gaslight me. Daylight not gonna gaslight me. You already threw the battle. You got all your fans pumped. Everybody was like, Daylight is the guy. He's the guy. He's going to take Joey Badass out. When he didn't take Joey Badass out and he saw what was happening, he decided he wanted to quit. He wanted to forfeit. He said, I'm going to throw this whole battle. I'm going to throw it. And the one thing that I also want to make a good point about is, if you got your own YouTube channel and your own following, when you have a diss record and you put it out, everybody on that channel is going to say everything you put out is fire. They're going to co-sign. It don't even matter if it's whack or not. They all going to show you love. It doesn't matter. You're going to activate that following and people are going to love it. But the real world outside of that small little hub is going to not go with it. And that's what was happening with every single... That was what was happening with every single record that was coming out, from Ray Vaughn to Joey Badass to Daylight. You had to check, you had to gauge it on Twitter, gauge it in the comments on Instagram that's not from somebody that's involved, to see who actually was winning and not. Look at the polls not created by the artist. When you was getting people that was objective and rating this, what they were saying was, you check the polls, pause, they were all of the votes was for Joey. All of them. Joey ThanASS took out the West Coast Avengers. You know what I'm saying? And you know, now at this point it has to be either Ab-Soul, J-Rock, or Schoolboy Q that's gonna come out. And I don't think they're coming out. I think they all just letting it rock. They like, nah, you won, you beat these guys, cool. And I don't think it's enough for Kendrick to do a full diss track. I don't think so. I think what's gonna happen is, I think Kendrick is gonna address it, but it's gonna be a very small addressing. You know what I'm saying? I think it's gonna be a small addressing. I just want to say about D1. D1 is my bro. I love D1. But I do not agree with, I feel like, you know, diss records that don't get violent and they just stay on wax. I feel like those type of records that's hip hop. That's hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I feel him. I love his mission statement. I love where he's going with it, where he doesn't want violence. There was never going to be any violence. They love each other. These guys know each other. I don't, like, if I feel like diss record, like, if you're saying we should get rid of diss records and they should stop, then you should be campaigning for battle rap to not be here. That's worse than what these guys were doing. This is a part of hip hop. It is the foundation of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So I would disagree with that. There was no violence. There was never going to be no violence. If you just are against negative confrontation in every sense of the word, then just say that. Just like I want peace all over the world. I want everybody to be peaceful with everybody. I don't agree with, everybody wants peace, but this is hip hop, man. Like, come on now. Like, I'm not saying that every song doesn't need to be violent. And the songs wasn't even violent. They was just showcasing lyrical talent and ability. It's just words. Nobody was trying to fight anybody. Saying battling is wrong to me. That's what people want to do. I support D1. That's my guy. I've known D1 for over a decade. You know what I'm saying? We've done a song together and everything. So like, I just feel like, let the guys do it. If you see that it's getting violent, if there are threats being made outside of music, then that's when you step in. I don't feel like that was happening here. You know what I'm saying? You got people now like excited about lyricism. Now there's other people that are joining in, trying to be a part of the clout, that are making diss records just to get their numbers up. They're not talking about hurting anybody. They're just, being lyrical. You know what I'm saying? Which is what's missing from the game. So I don't agree with that. And that's my guy. I support D1. That is my guy for real. But I don't agree with that. If you feel like nobody can do diss records, that's just not realistic. You know what I mean? With all that being said, Joey took out everybody. We got Sticky Fingers pulling up next week. Should be a good situation. You know what I'm saying? Joe ThanASS is pulling up. Joey ThanASS cooked the West Coast Avengers. That's really all I had to say, man. Thank y'all for joining in. Follow me on YouTube. I think I'm going to do the Burberry versus hat thing. If your songs is good, I'll spray some Burberry. If you got some whack stuff, I'll just keep switching out hats. People said they want that, so then that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. D1 started to be the kid in the classroom that raised his hand too much. That's funny. I thought it was great for the culture. So with that being said, man, y'all all have a great day today. Knicks in 7. Knicks in 7.